Ready?
Ready?
Call the meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
John, will you please do roll call?
I will. Annette Schreiner.
Here.
Karen Ford.
Present.
Brian Davis.
Here.
Jeremy Supel.
Here.
And Deborah Beavers.
Present.
Thank you. Welcome. Good afternoon. Welcome to the February 17th, 2026 meeting of the Bryan Board of Public Affairs. First on the agenda is to approve the minutes of the February 3rd, 2026 meeting. You've all been presented with the meeting minutes. Are there any questions or comments about the minutes or changes? If there are none, may I please have a motion to approve the minutes as written?
I make motion. Second.
Jeremy.
Yes.
Brian.
Yes.
Annette.
Yes.
Karen.
Yes.
And Deborah.
Yes.
Next on the agenda is a hearing of public concerns. Anyone here like to come to the podium? Seeing none. Next on the agenda is the Clerk-Treasurer's Report. John?
Yes, like we do every month, the board has been provided with the financial statements for the city as a whole, the utilities, and then all of the bank statements, bank reconciliation, and for the, for the month ended January 31st. And as always, I'll entertain any questions you might have at this point, or of course, feel free to call me anytime.
Any questions for John? If not, may I have a motion to approve the Clerk-Treasurer's Report for January 31st, 2026?
So moved.
Second.
Brian?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Annette?
Yes.
Jeremy?
Yes.
And Deborah.
Yes.
Next on the agenda is a resolution. John, will you please number and read?
Resolution number 6, 2026, authorizing the Director of Utilities to purchase a 2026 insulated aerial lift device, also known as a bucket truck, for the Electric Department from Custom Truck One Source Incorporated.
Derek?
The existing bucket truck, or truck number 50, it's a 2001 International. It's become obsolete. The parts are hard to come by, and just recently it was red tagged during the safety testing. And as we know, the bucket truck is essential to safely maintaining and repairing the city's transmission lines. Resolution number 40, 2025, authorized advertising for bids. Those bids were advertised December 22nd, December 29th, 2025, and there was a bid opening on January 22nd, 2026. We received one bid from Custom Truck One Source. The total base bid was $397,250. This was approved and is within the 2026 Electric Department capital budget. $575,000 was budgeted for that. Staff, Adam and Al, they've reviewed all the specs, the bid documents, as the city attorney, and we respectfully request authorization to accept the bid.
So I have a question. One is all you got?
Yeah.
Wow. It says here base bid of $397. Does that have all the extras you want to put on it and everything?
Yeah, we went just with a pretty basic model, not a lot of bells and whistles and frills because it's a transmission truck. So we'll be able to have our staff here add a few things after the truck's all done. So we decided to try to go that route this time.
So this is the one you needed to have the greater boom height, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Good question. I'm sure you compared this with the state's purchasing program. How close did they come to even having what you wanted? Or did they even have something
If we would've went through the state purchasing, just from kind of a quick reference,
Yeah.
significantly more. Also not in the same time frame as this. We're looking at 2 and 3 years out for a truck. So we just felt, let's try this bid process if we haven't done it for a long time, and we ended up getting what we felt was a pretty good price. Substantially cheaper.
I guess another question I was have you ever purchased anything from Custom Truck One?
No, but they're pretty nationwide, known for building aerial devices, digger trucks. They have a lot of huge rental fleets out there, things like that, so they're able to produce.
Where's this one coming from?
Like I said, they're nationwide. I don't know what factory it'll be built in. So,
Okay. I knew some of them came from Texas and some from Michigan, different parts. I didn't know if you,
yeah, we're
New at this
This
time.
group here was what was from up in Michigan, so.
yeah, I'm sure they got to put it.
Battle Creek area.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's a very good price.
I'd move to approve.
May I have a motion to approve resolution number 6?
Okay, yes, I'll make the motion.
Second.
Bryan,
Yes.
Karen,
Yeah.
Annette,
Yes.
Jeremy,
Yes.
and Deborah.
Yes.
Next on the agenda is another resolution. John, will you please number and read?
Resolution number 7, 2026, authorizing the appropriation and transfer from the 509 Communications Fund to the 501 Electric Fund.
Derek?
As discussed during the budgeting process, but then even more recently during the year in review presentations, this resolution would transfer the funds from the 509 Communications Fund to the 501 Electric Fund. The remaining fund balance to be transferred is $1,704,634.58. This is one of the steps in the process to formally close the 509 fund. But that fund will remain open for 2026 for auditing purposes. All of the revenue and expense activity has been moved over into the 501 Electric Fund. So requesting authorization to make that transfer of that final balance.
Cleaning up business, just as we have done this process before for other things too. So I'll make a motion that we approve Resolution 7 for the appropriation and transfer from Fund 509 Communications over to 501 Electric.
I will second it.
Karen,
Yes.
Annette,
Yes.
Bryan,
Yes.
Jeremy,
Yes.
and Deborah.
Yes.
Next on the agenda is also a resolution. John, will you please number and read?
Resolution number 8, 2026, authorizing the transfer from the 535 Communications Capital Reserve Fund to the 515 Electric Capital Reserve Fund.
Derek?
So same explanation, same reasoning, but this would be from the 535 capital to the 515 electric capital. That fund balance is $71,071.75.
Any questions? May I have a motion for resolution number 8?
Make the motion.
I'll second it.
Jeremy,
Yes.
Annette,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
Bryan,
Yes.
and Deborah.
Yes.
If I could just add one thing, of course, this action will take place at the next council meeting, where they'll move the money and fund balances in the capital, in the comms capital, and comms operating will go to 0, and those dollars will go to electric and electric capital. Just to clarify.
Thank you,
Another
John.
step to go.
Next on the agenda is a discussion regarding video recording of public meetings. Derek, you want to lead us off?
Yep. So at the board's request, staff's been working on gathering updated information and cost and solutions for the board to consider in the recording of board meetings as well as council meetings. Many of you recall video recordings were discontinued in 2023. That was due to outdated audio and video equipment. In '24, we did upgrade the audio equipment, and we've provided those recordings since that time. So I'm just going to give you a brief overview of all of the information that you were provided, and then turn it over to you for discussion. So we reviewed a lot of the prior information and cost. We also reached out to vendors to update those quotes, and we also received some new ones. We'll tell you the vendor responses were limited and they were buried. Some of the quotes not yet complete, and specifically for council chambers, because that does represent a different setup. And we've given you options of both portable and permanent recording options. Those also are compatible, the permanent ones are compatible with the upgraded audio system. And kind of from that, we've provided you with 3 options to consider. The first option is a portable system. It's called Meeting Owl. It's basically a 360-degree camera mounted on a tripod. It automatically highlights and moves to the active speaker. It's not permanently installed, and it would operate independently from the audio equipment. Estimated costs are approximately $2,600 for the boardroom and $6,400 for council chambers. Kind of the key points to this option: it does have the lowest upfront cost, but it does require the most staff involvement for setup and tear down, etc. Also, you may need additional equipment to ensure high quality recordings in larger rooms like the council chambers. And it also appears to be more of a short-term solution than a long-term approach. Option number 2 is a fixed system, a permanent system. This would include 1 or 2 cameras at the board's preference. 1 camera installed to cover the room, and a second camera, if desired, to cover content on the TV screen. This system would be compatible with the upgraded audio. It operates similar to the current recordings, where it's a start and a stop during the meeting, and then all those post-production things happen the following day. The estimated cost for the boardroom is $5,955 installed. Quote for the council chambers is still pending, but we would expect that to be higher due to the potential need for additional equipment and/or software. Key points to this option: it's a more professional permanent setup with better integration, although it does have a higher upfront cost, and the council chambers is a bit more complex to install. And then the third option, again, is a permanent fixed solution, offering 1 or 2 cameras. 1 camera, again, can be fixed to cover the room, and a second can focus on any presentation content. The quote for the boardroom for 1 camera is $5,800. We're working on additional camera costs and costs for the council chambers as well. Operationally, a single camera setup would likely require staff to operate the system during the meetings, while a 2-camera setup we could potentially run without staff present. Again, key points to this one: we do have the potential to purchase the equipment and install it ourselves, though we might need some setup assistance from the vendor, and then depending on whether you select 1 or 2 cameras, staff may or may not need to be present for the meeting. So just a brief overview of the information you've been given, and I'll stop there for any discussion or comment.
You have on your chart, by year, you have averages. Is that average every 2 weeks, every month, or is that the average a year?
Hang on 1 second, let me flip to where you are. That would be the average. Are we looking at the video recordings or the?
Yeah, the view and watch times.
So that would be the average over the course of the year.
Really?
Yeah.
Per meeting.
Per meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were referring to the average viewers for the entire year.
Per meeting across the whole year.
Okay.
But if you look at minutes watched, I mean, the average is ranging from under 8 to a little over 5.
Mhm.
And this isn't necessarily the time of the meeting, this is like during the meeting and after. It's not necessarily all live.
No, I understand that.
Do you happen to know, I forgot to look, but do you know the change in reduction when we went to just audio? Is it
Yes.
on there?
it's
I
on.
should turn the page, I am so sorry. So there was a reduction a little
Yeah.
bit.
There's
Don't have.
Roughly half.
Viewers.
People viewing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, every year it was going down more and more and more. People quit watching it
Yeah.
and listening to it, so.
And one thing we've done, honestly, at the request of Mr. Metz for the city website is, as we have PowerPoint presentations, the next morning, those go up on the city website, so that as you're listening, you can maybe click through slides of, the state of the city or department heads' reviews. I don't know if you guys do that over here or not, but he did make that request to City Hall a couple years ago, so we've been, I think, pretty good at doing that the next morning after the presentations.
Has there been any engagement at like the school district level with their
They don't-
video team?
So they don't record their meetings anymore at all.
I just mean like Mr. Malenga's program with the video production and,
Have they asked?
yeah, I didn't know if
No,
there was
they're
any,
usually
they have
at
an
sporting
interest.
events.
Yeah, I didn't know if there was an educational value to it or not, but.
We had problems over time. People coming in to record this, paying overtime, having some of the school kids, I think there was some young people interested in, and I'm not sure how we paid them, or if we did, or if we hired them as a school program, but there was a lot of times that there was trouble doing that, and how, so I think we tried even not paying overtime and just adjusting hours. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
We considered it at the last time it was
Yeah.
talked about, but we did not do it.
And what that did to the staff is it makes that person not here during the day
Right.
and more difficult to adjust his time or whoever it was. And
There was also an issue with uploading once that created a big legal issue for us that Rhonda had to address. And I don't know if it was 2018 or 19, I don't know if you even remember, Mike, Joe was in the room, and we all had to sit down, Kevin was still the director, but there were pieces of a BPA meeting that were pretty significant that were missing. And it really, we found out it was no one's fault, but it just, with the upload to YouTube, it just never made it. And so it was really a permanent record that somehow got distorted and caused us some issues in the public record
it
portion.
really did. Yeah, I remember that.
Because that was the only recording available, Lori didn't have a manual recording beside her, so we were concerned about that too.
Another thing is, we don't have anything for this budgeted for the year, so that's something to consider as well. And who's gonna pay for all of this? Is this gonna be paid, even the council chambers, is city side gonna pay for their?
That would be what I would assume.
I know when we put the $15,000 in audio, council did pay for it, but we put it in their budget and talked to them about it, and they made that conscious decision for their budget.
I wasn't sure.
And
how
part
that-
of the concern we have now with these quotes is that money may be worthless. That audio may be worthless based on the system that's chosen. I think that's one of our concerns going forward.
Because you just invested the 15.
Yeah, and the 15,000 works right now for the audio we're using, so it was a good investment, and it was at the recommendation of the communications staff at the time. But if we go back to a visual presence, whatever's chosen may not be compatible with the audio system we have. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, we went with that because the space is so large, and our mixer board was completely shot, so that was the most cost-effective way to handle the space of the room with the audio components we needed.
Yeah, we
What
needed
did
more
we
equipment,
use?
new equipment.
Yeah.
We used another platform before YouTube, didn't we? Remember that?
That was before my time.
Yeah, think we started something before that and decided to go to YouTube because it was a different platform, a little
We had it on
less.
channel 3 before on our.
Yeah, it was on
When
the,
you had cable,
That, yeah.
I remember it was on that.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, in the information packet we got also, it's like, there's what, just Napoleon, Defiance, and Stryker have audio. Video, the same, just 3 out of the 3, 6, 9, 11 cities listed. So it's not a big thing to a lot of cities and communities, apparently. So I don't know the benefit of going back to that, especially since we have audio now. People can listen to us right now. They can listen to us any other time of the day. Is there some other benefit that you guys see that would make us interested in going back to video?
I think more people would engage if we offered the video over audio. I mean, I many times listen to the audio that's available, but myself, I don't think, and I think I'm probably not that unusual in that regard. I would prefer video. So you can see who's talking. You know, it's a little bit hard when you're listening. That may be why the viewership decreased. Or at least one reason.
Yeah,
Well-
I remember that point was, I had tried to set something up as the chair would call a person by name when they needed to, or had something they wanted to say, or wanted to ask a question. That way, the audio and people listening would be able to tell whose voice was speaking. I'm with you on that one, but
Well, first, if I may, thank you for the information. In reviewing the information you provided, and I'm a big proponent of doing the video, I could take a look at the numbers, and they don't justify the cost. I mean, sad to say, but they don't, and you already knew that. But until I had the numbers, I didn't know that. So my desire to have it done, I'll retract that. I mean, I'll do whatever anybody wants to do, but I don't think that we can justify the expenditure for what the history has shown us when it comes to viewership. Unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of just voice recordings, but it's probably the best that we can provide at this time based on the viewership of the past.
Any other comments? None?
So if that's the way it's gonna go, I'm gonna respectfully request that you guys stop tracking down quotes for council. Is that reasonable for you too? I know you can't make a quorum, but I'd advised council last night that I did ask for similar quotes if the board went that way, because again, council made their decision based on the recommendation of BMU. So we can quit making Mike chase his tail. Is that okay? All right. If the board's gonna remain the same in the audio, council, I think, has that interest as well. We'd like to stay consistent with you guys.
I'm in agreement for the cost that it's going to be. It's just not justifiable for me.
I don't disagree.
Any other comments before we move on to the next subject? Okay. Thank you, everybody. Derek, team, thank you for the detail. It is appreciated. Next on the agenda is a discussion on the content for the board member webpage section. So,
I can start. Just
Derek, you want to
based on
start?
recent comments, just looking for some direction from the board of what you want on that board member section of the webpage. Is it pictures, is it bios, is it one or the other? Just looking for some clarification from the board of what you want to see on there.
I think that I can speak for these two, that we want pictures and short bios. And they, if I'm not mistaken, you both have submitted those to
I just have
Sylvia.
to get my bio finished.
Okay. You just put on there employed and send it to her.
I work for a living.
Yeah.
And I will give some backstory. I know Mr. Sufol was very involved with the day Armageddon happened. I mean, it had been slowly happening, but there were some folks doxing, not just the city, but the county, and also some folks that had contacted my personal pastor, a board that I sit on, and it became very clear in a few minutes that they were going to the website and researching bios, and at that point, I called my administrative assistant, asked her to take all of council's off, and I reached out to Derek right away and said, hey, you can talk to your board, but for now, until we figure out what's going on, you may want to take these and hide them. And the concern was because all of you, most of you have full-time jobs, and your bosses may not have known what was going on, and we didn't want to risk anyone's employment. And at that point, then, we obviously had meetings separately with everyone, and the discussion at that time was to keep that off.
I mean, I understand the
Yeah,
reasons
and
why.
there is a hearing in March, and then there's also a sixth appellate pending. There's been flare-ups on occasion, so just so you guys are aware of that. But totally your decision. At this point, council has not indicated they want their bios back up, but I totally understand
Well,
if you want.
I think it's how you craft the bio. If you put on the bio where you currently work, that's probably not a very good thing to do. I think utilizing generalities
Yeah.
is a different subject matter. The simple fact is that the prior board in 2025, I could click on it and I could send Annette, who I don't even know, an email.
Sure.
So, I mean, it wasn't as though it prevented contact or communication. Just, you need to be prudent in what you put in your bio.
Well, and right now, council, you
Got
can
to leave
still.
your home address off, I mean, you know,
Well,
things like that.
yeah, we never gave those. But right now, council, you can still reach their work emails, or, I'm sorry,
Direct
city
cities.
email,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
On our side, it doesn't tell you how to, you don't see the email address. And it doesn't tell you that if you click the name, it will take you and open up an email, and that only works for me. If you click her name, it says, oops, page doesn't
So is
work.
there a preference on a link to an email? Would you want that or you do not want that?
Yeah, well, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, is you could put underneath the name, the email address, and don't make it a hyperlink. So if somebody wants to email you, they have to copy, paste, and put in an email address.
Yeah, I wouldn't even go that far. I would do a click on the picture like what she is. If you post the email address on the webpage, you have services that scrape it, and then you end up in somebody's spam list. So I think concealing it in the hyperlink of the photo would be best case scenario. Just say, to email, click here. Don't actually list the email address out, because then you're going to get scraped. You're going to end up in somebody's solicitation list. You're going to have more spam than you know what to do with. So,
You can do that.
Yeah, ours is set up to click the name,
Okay.
but just tell me that I went to test it
yeah,
all.
even if it said to contact, click here or
Yeah.
whatever. Just don't list the actual full email out, and it'll be a lot better.
And up higher on our board page, it does say to listen to the audio, click this link. But the city side does not have that option. It's not listed. So from the council page, there's nothing on there that says, click here to listen to the council meetings. You have to go
because
to a
that's on our
different page.
Well,
YouTube.
Yeah,
well-
I point that out as a difference.
that's on our council minutes. We put it in a different area.
Yeah, it is in a different area, and but it says, right under your name, it says, for more information, click here for more information about the mayor. And it goes, it has your name and your picture, and then nothing else
Because
but
my
the
bio.
links on, yeah.
But, yeah, and that's
So we
because we
need to
took the
clean
bio
up.
off.
I
yeah.
think we just need some cleanup. Somebody needs to pay attention to what is out there and make sure everything's working right.
Yeah.
So would you want your bio out there?
My email address is fine. If somebody wants, no, I don't. No, really, I'm not interested in anything more than what's updated picture. But I know Sylvia
Yeah,
took
just the
pictures. Those will be coming.
Yeah,
but-
I personally, I'm good with my picture because You guys are always putting it in the paper in my name. And I'm good with an email, but I don't want any bio information. Personally, I don't.
Fine.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is to affect the semi-monthly disbursements, so pay the bills. May I have a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
I'll second.
Bryan,
Yes.
Deborah,
Yes.
Annette,
Yes.
Karen,
Yeah.
and Jeremy.
Yes.
Next is comments from BPA and Staff. Derek, would you like to start us off?
I have nothing else for this
Nothing
evening.
else?
Thank you.
Claire Schlein.
No, I'm excited to represent Public Power next week in DC and talk to our legislators about a numerous amount of things. I just got off of a Zoom call with Ant before coming here, and there are a lot of items to check off, so I'll report back when I return.
Sounds like a fun trip.
Yeah. We actually, Bob Ladd is going to take us on a night tour of the Capitol on Monday night, so that should be enjoyable too.
John, you have anything?
Nothing else.
Mr. Betts? Mary? Staff? Paper? Deb, do you have anything else to add?
Anything tonight?
Okay. Jeremy? Bryan?
I'm good.
Karen?
No, except to thank Derek for putting all the information together.
I need to thank Mike and his team. They pulled a lot of the legwork, so.
Well, then I will, thank you.
It is much appreciated. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
With that said, we're going to take a brief recess and then go into executive session to discuss the employment and compensation of a public employee. Asked to attend is Derek, BPA, Mayor, and John.